Hey there, Horace. I just wanted to let you know that we are officially done with the unpacking. I guess that means that we can also officially start our new life as almost husband and wife. Oh, I really am just so excited and proud of us. We've worked so hard and gone through so much to get here.
I know! And I can't wait to finally start living with you. Feels like we've been talking about this forever.
I know, and now it's all finally coming together and happening for real. I'm so excited to see what our life is going to be like now that we're going to be together. This is actually the first time I'm ever going to be living with another man, so I bet there'll be a lot to learn.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that strange. I mean, in some ways, it's just like having a roommate who you're going to be married to.
Well, if you say so. But still, I wonder what kind of odd little habits of yours I'm going to pick up on. I don't know. I guess that I'm just excited and nervous for all this to start finally happening.
Oh, I understand that. I mean, after all, your father did pass away when you were pretty young, right?
That's right. My dad died when I was only 5 years old, and so I hardly have any memories of living with him at all. Although I've been told that my mom can be pretty mannish as well, so who knows, maybe I do know what it's like to live with a man, and I just haven't realized it yet.
Well, I suppose you're going to find out soon enough. But yeah, I did get that kind of feeling from your mom, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, she could get pretty scary sometimes. But of course, she was also a really good mom as well.
I think that she did a great job raising you, and you should have nothing but pride over the job that she did.
I agree. I mean, I love my mom so much, and I realize all the sacrifices she made for us. In fact, I suppose I loved her so much that that's probably why I'm getting married at the age I am. I just always wanted to make sure that she had someone around who could take care of her.
Oh, come on, what's wrong with getting married at 30? Although, it is pretty surprising that I was your first boyfriend as well. I don't know, to me it makes the whole thing feel like fate at work to bring us together.
I know what you mean, although sometimes I get a little embarrassed thinking like that.
I don't think you have anything to be embarrassed or ashamed of, Sally. I'm honored to be the first man that you've had feelings for like this. And I just know that you're going to get used to living with my stinky, gross man self right away!
Well, you should have seen how shocked my friends were when I told them that we were getting married. Not only were they shocked that I even had a boyfriend, but they couldn't believe how fast we decided to get hitched.
I suppose you could say that we weren't really dating for all that long. But what kind of things were your friends saying to you about us?
Oh, they were just asking if I was sure about this and if you were the one and all that kind of thing. And I told them that of course I was sure and that I really love you. I explained how well you take care of me too.
Aw, well that is really sweet of you. But I suppose you would have been pretty disappointed if you weren't getting married yet, right? I mean, you were just talking about being too old and stuff.
Oh, it's okay though. Besides, there's more immediate things to worry about. But I think you were right to say that we should skip spending too much on the wedding and put the money towards our honeymoon. Besides, both my parents are gone now, so as much as I can't wait to get married, I don't feel a huge need to have a giant ceremony.
I understand that, but I'm also sure that both your parents are looking down at you and couldn't be more proud of what you've accomplished.
I just hope that they can rest easier knowing that their daughter is in good hands with you, Horace. I never really saw myself getting married before I met you, if I can be honest. So this even took me a little bit by surprise.
I mean, when you told me that I was the first person that you've ever dated, I was pretty shocked. You're so kind and sweet and pretty, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, Horace, you're going to make me blush if you start saying all of that. But thank you for the kind words. Oh, also, before I forget, we're going to go to the courthouse tomorrow, right?
The courthouse? What are you going to do there?
Well, we need to have the civil ceremony and pick up our marriage certificate and all that.
Oh, really? Is that how that works? I feel like every state has their own laws, so it's hard to keep track of.
Of course that's how it works. I told you that we'd have to do this earlier. Did you forget?
Well, it's not that I forgot, but I actually have some errands that I need to run tomorrow. I'm really sorry, but could you do all of that by yourself?
You want me to go and pick up our marriage certificate all by myself? I don't know, I feel like this is kind of a big deal. I was picturing us going and doing this together.
I know, but this thing popped up and I just have to take care of it, and it would be impossible to try to reschedule it now.
Oh, I see. Well, I was really looking forward to getting to do this with you all day.
Well then, how about we just go and do it together a different day? Would that work for you?
Well, it's just that tomorrow is actually the anniversary of my parents, so I kind of wanted to try and do it then. I don't really have any other day that would make it as special as that one.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't really know what to say.
I can't believe that you forgot we were going to do this. I'm kind of hurt by this, Horace.
I really am so sorry about the mix-up, but I just don't see how I could get tomorrow to work for me. So if you really only want to do it tomorrow, then I think you'll have to go on your own. But I promise that we'll have a great first anniversary next year, got it? I promise you, you have my word, Sally!
It's fine. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be picky like this. I can just go and do it myself tomorrow. But just please don't ever forget something this important again, okay?
Hey, Sally, are you there? Really sorry about this, but it's gonna be another late night for me. You could go ahead and eat dinner without me.
You mean you're staying late at the office again? What is it this time?
I'm really sorry, but there's a lot to do here and I won't be home until late. You'll probably end up going to bed before me.
You know, you've been coming home later for a while now. We've been married for a month and I feel like you and I have barely gotten to spend any time together. To be honest with you, I'm starting to feel pretty lonely waiting at home for you.
I'm so sorry about this, Sally, but there are just some really important things that I need to take care of and I can't move them around.
And just what really important thing is keeping you late at the office this time? Because even on our wedding day, you said the same thing. I don't know, I guess I just thought that things would change when you and I got married, but you're starting to make me nervous. I'm starting to wonder if you even really love me, Horace.
What are you talking about? Of course I really love you! How could you even say something like that to me?
Well, you sure have a funny way of showing it when I hardly ever see my own husband. I just wish you would try and show me that you loved me with words or actions or something.
Okay, I'll come clean to you, Sally. The truth is that I've been wanting to talk to you about this for a while now.
Come clean about what? What is it? Please, Horace, you're starting to scare me here. Have you been hiding something? Do you have a secret that I should know about or something?
The truth about me is that my dad is really sick. Deathly sick, in fact. And he's going to have a surgery if he has any shot at living. Not only that, but the surgery is going to cost tens of thousands of dollars that we don't have.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh, Horace, I had no idea about your dad. We've been married this whole time and you haven't even gone to go and visit them once.
I know. And I feel absolutely terrible about it. Well, when I found out about my dad being sick, well, I didn't want to spoil the first month of being married. So I'm sorry for not saying this earlier.
Oh, Horace, you should know that you don't have to hide that kind of thing from me. Please, you should have come to me about this sooner. I would have supported you.
You're right, I should have known better, but I guess that I just let my pride get in the way. But now that I think about it, you're absolutely right. I guess I'm nothing more than a coward, and now we can all see that. But I'm sorry for scaring you. That isn't what I wanted to do.
It's okay, but I really was getting nervous since I was barely seeing you. Although I'm sure that you must be so worried about your dad. But you should have known that I'd understand where you were coming from. After all, both of my parents passed away to illnesses that I wasn't able to help them get treatment for. But now that I know this about your dad, I would like to do anything that I can to help you, if you'll let me.
Well, right now my dad's condition is worsening, and he's in the hospital getting treatment. I've been doing a lot to try to save money where I can. But I've also been going to visit him before and after work when I'm able to.
So that's why you've been gone from the house so often? Well, please, tell me if there's anything that I can do.
You mean that you really want to help me out? I don't know what to say.
Horace, of course I want to help you. You're my husband, and your dad is my father-in-law. We're family, and this is what families do. It's not going to be easy, but at least we'll have each other.
Sally, I just don't even know what to say right now. Except thank you. Thank you so much for always wanting to be there for me. Do you think you could reach out to my mom and ask her for things that you could do? You know her knees are bad, so it's extra difficult for her to take care of my dad.
Got it. I'll try and make some time to go and visit your mom at home so that I can talk to her about this.
That would be a huge help! I'm sorry for the trouble this might cause you, but I'm so happy we're going to do this together. Hey, Sally, are you still at my parents' house? I was just curious if you had anything planned for dinner.
Oh, shoot, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'm still with your mom, and then I'll have to go and do some shopping, too.
Oh, I see. So then what about dinner? What am I supposed to do?
I'll be sure and stop somewhere on the way home and pick something up for you.
Oh man, so we're getting takeout again? I'm starting to miss your cooking, you know? When was the last time you made something for me?
I know, and I'm sorry I haven't. I've just been really busy trying to help at your mom's. In fact, I'm of half a mind to just skip dinner myself and go straight to bed. I've been running around all day trying to help her out. I feel like I haven't had a second to sit down at all.
Okay, well, you do realize that I need to eat too, right? You're not just going to let me starve, are you?
I'm sorry, Horace. I should have told you I was still with your mom. If you're really hungry right now, how about you cook something for yourself? There should be some leftovers in the fridge if you want some of those.
You really expect me to eat leftovers? No! I'm going to draw myself a bath. You better get back here and have dinner ready by the time I get out.
But why can't you just make something for yourself? I just told you that I was with your mom all day trying to help her out.
And what about the duties that you have at our house, huh? Did you forget about those?
I didn't forget. I was just putting your mom and dad first. You know, you could help out a bit more around the house since I'm helping your mom now.
Listen to me, Sally. You were the one that said you wanted to help out since my dad was sick, right? So don't try to slog off your responsibilities on me just because you bit off more than you could chew. I'm not going to cover for you. Do you get me?
I know I said that I wanted to help you out because of your dad. But I guess I just thought that we'd be doing more cooperating because of that as well. And your mom is working me really hard. She has a comment to make about every little thing that I do. So by the time I'm done at her place, I am just absolutely exhausted.
I'm starting to get pretty sick of all these excuses that you're trying to give me. You were the one who said you wanted to help, so why don't you keep your word and help?
Horace, I think that you've really started to change recently. You used to be so sweet and kind to me, and I haven't felt that way in a while now.
Well, if you think that I've changed, it's probably because I've been having to put up with you this whole time. You have any idea how hard it's been taking care of my dad? You think you're the only one with extra work on their plate?
Well, how is your dad? Is he doing any better? You haven't talked about it much.
It's not looking good, and the doctors are saying that if we don't move fast, that he's not going to make it.
Well, then it sounds to me like it might finally be time to schedule the surgery for him, right?
I thought I told you this is going to cost me an arm and a leg, and I don't have that kind of money right now.
You mean neither you nor your parents have enough money saved for something like this?
Of course we don't! If we did, then we wouldn't be in this position in the first place!
Well, then what are we going to do about your dad? What's going to happen to him?
If you're so concerned about getting him the surgery, then why don't you cough up the money for it?
You want me to pay for your dad's surgery?
Well, I remember that you told me before we got married that you've been saving for years and already had something like $50,000 saved up, right?
Yes, I did tell you that.
Well, then why don't you give me that money so that I can use it to save my dad's life, huh?
I was really hoping to use that money after we had kids for the things we'd need for them. Or at least use it for an emergency that we might face as a family in the future.
Oh, so you mean my dad lying on his deathbed isn't an emergency enough for you? You really are much more cruel than I thought. Just go ahead and say that you don't care at all about what happens to my dad.
Horace, please, I think that you're being really unfair to me right now.
You said that families help each other in their time of need, didn't you? So what makes this a case where you don't need to help out? What the heck did I even marry you for if you're not going to help my family?
I don't understand what you mean by that. Are you saying that you only married me for my money?
I'm saying that you talked about all that money that you had saved up before we got married. You knew what you were doing, too. You told me that because you knew it would sweeten the pot for us being together.
Horace, I only wanted to be honest with you, and I wanted to marry you because I thought you loved me.
You think that I actually fell in love with a woman who was well past her prime and had no other motivation? You really are a batty old broad if you think that's true. I did you the favor of marrying you, but I won't hesitate to leave you either. Hey, have you still not transferred the 50 grand to my dad's surgery yet? In fact, you haven't even been in the house recently. Where are you right now?
What is the matter with you, Horace? Why are you asking me this all of a sudden?
This isn't all of a sudden! You've known about this for a while! Now hurry up and get the money ready for my dad!
I can't just give you all the money like that at once. Besides, I really don't care what happens to your dad.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? You don't care that my dad could die any day now? What's the matter with you? You really don't care at all what happens to your father-in-law?
You say all of that, but there isn't any money to give.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
It means that I spent it. I spent all of the money.
You spent it? What are you talking about? What did you spend it on?
Well, I decided to buy myself a nice little old house, if you must know. I'm going to work on it and turn it into the house of my dreams.
You did what? Why in the world would you spend your money on that? What's the matter with you? I need that money!
I bought the house because that's where I'm going to live.
What does that even mean? We have a nice place to live in already! I don't want to live in some crappy old house!
Oh, trust me, you're not going to be welcome there anyways. I'm going to live there on my own. I'm moving out, and I want to get a divorce.
Have you gone crazy? What the heck is going on here?
I mean that I am sick and tired of putting up with you and your mother day in and day out. On top of that, I'm not going to let you lay a finger on my hard-earned savings.
Oh, come on, I wasn't actually serious about that, you know? Besides, the money's going to my dad!
For what? It's not like your dad is even sick. It may be true that he's in the hospital, but he's not sick. He was just in a car crash. In fact, I thought from the start that something was wrong. What hospital asks for payments for a surgery up front? And why wasn't insurance going to cover most of the cost anyways? Then, while I was at your mom's house, I used her phone to call your dad.
You did what? Why in the world would you do something like that?
Well, just to figure out what it was that was making you lie to me. But not even your dad knew that you were trying to use him to extort me.
Hold on a second. I think there's been some kind of mistake here.
Are you sure about that? Or do you want to tell me about the debt that you are hiding from your parents and I?
Wait, hold on a second. How did you know about that?
Oh, I didn't. But your mom did, didn't she? And she suggested that you try and get the money from somewhere before your dad found out.
Does my dad know now? Did you tell him?
Well, I haven't yet, but it's only a matter of time now. Maybe I should go and tell him, in fact.
No! You can't do that! Please don't!
Okay then, why don't you tell me just how you got into all that debt?
I just have really expensive tastes is all, okay? I eat out at nice restaurants a bunch. My dad is such a tightwad that he would never be okay with me spending like that. So when he got in the hospital, I thought it was finally my time.
And then you went overboard buying steaks? That's how you ended up tens of thousands of dollars in debt?
You have no idea just how strict my dad was. He would control everything at home for years.
Well, that explains how your mom got to the way that she is. I've never met such a neurotic person before.
I know. When Dad got in the accident, we thought it meant it would finally be free of him. We thought he actually would die. But that damn old man just won't let go!
He's been in the hospital for about 6 months now, right? You must have really thought he would never have come back.
I know, but now we're neck deep in debt and in serious trouble. So I need to pay this all off before he gets out.
Well, that really isn't my problem at all. I'm already moved out.
Well, come back! You have to come back!
And why would I do something like that?
Don't you get it? Who's gonna marry if you leave me? He'll be single forever!
I'd rather be single for the rest of my life than spend it with a man who tricked me for my money. I won't tell your dad, but just know that he'll find out soon enough, and when he does, I won't be there to help you. After that, the doctors started to report gradual recovery from his father. After spending so much time at the hospital, they thought that it was finally time he be transferred back home and taken care of there. Of course, when Horace and his mom found out about this, they started running around like crazy trying to pay off their debts. But their efforts weren't enough, and Horace's father found out about the debt within a matter of days after returning. Since the debt was all accumulated on his father's credit cards, Horace was sued by his own father. His parents also ended up divorcing in the aftermath of the truth coming to light. Horace and his mother were burdened with all of the debt that they had racked up. Not only that, but since it was the dad who owned the house, the two of them were forced out and moved into a tiny apartment. The two of them are working several jobs now in order to try and pay off their debts. As for me, I moved into my newly purchased home and slowly began turning it into a place of my own. My mom was a contractor who did a lot of her own construction work, so I had learned from a young age all about home improvement. It's sad that my first and only relationship ended the way it did, but I knew that I couldn't let down my parents who were looking down on me from above. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey Mark, where the heck are you right now?
Yeah, hello, Derek. I'm just taking my lunch break outside the office right now, actually.
Oh, well, good for you. But you do know that there is still plenty of work that needs to be done, don't you? But the new hire is taking break as if there isn't a care in the world. Good for you!
I'm really sorry. Is there a problem with me doing this?
Yeah, it's not just you, it's the whole dang world. Nobody has any common sense these days. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, you're married, right?
Well, I have a fiancé who I'm marrying soon, but I'm not quite married yet. Why do you ask?
Well, I bet she's a real looker too, isn't she? You must have such a happy little family. But just how do you expect to be able to take care of him when there's still so much work to do?
I suppose the only answer I can give you is that I'll work even harder than I am now, huh?
There we go, that's the spirit, now you're getting it. So anyways, you're gonna be working overtime tonight.
Wait, what?
Well, you just said that you wanted to work even harder than you are now, so I'm just giving you what you asked for.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm already working on a project right now, so I really don't think I need more work on top of that.
You just said that you were gonna work even harder than you are right now, didn't you? Well, if that's the case, then you need to take on a second project and work.
I guess I see the point that you're making. But the only thing is that I was given this assignment by the head of our department, so I think he would really prefer if I focus on this for the time being.
Oh, really? You got your work straight from the boss? Well, don't worry, I'll go to him and tell him that you're done with whatever it was he assigned you. Just send me the files and I'll present them to him and you can get started on your next assignment.
Derek, please wait a minute. I really do have my hands full with what I'm working on right now, and I don't think it's in any shape to be turned in as of now.
So you're just gonna go against the direct order from your superior? I guess I'll have to make sure everyone knows about this in time for your next performance review. And when that happens, well, I just can't imagine you having a very long future here with us.
No, it isn't anything like that. I'm not trying to disobey you or anything. It's just that this project isn't really ready to be handed in, so I can't give it to you right now. Besides, I thought that we already talked about this earlier, right? I asked you to please not give me any overtime if possible. I promise that as soon as I'm finished with what I'm doing, though, I can assist you with whatever it is that you need.
Oh, please, don't be such a baby. Everyone has to work a little overtime now and then. Just shut up and do as I say, got it? I have a date. I'm not gonna be late because of you.
You wouldn't happen to be going out with that girl you ran into while going into that store you're always talking about, right?
That's right. I guess news really does travel fast around here. Don't tell me that you're jealous or anything.
Sorry, Derek, but aren't you married? Do you think your wife will be mad about you doing this?
It's not really a date, jeez, we're just grabbing some food is all. Why don't you mind your own business and never mention my wife again, huh? Honestly, who do you think you're talking to your superior like this?
Well, the only thing is that I heard the place where she worked is kind of expensive.
What's expensive? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just mean that I haven't really heard good things about the store's reputation. Yeah, at least from other colleagues I've heard mention it.
So, because you don't like a shop, all the employees there must be bad, is what you're saying? You don't even know this girl. She is really nice and I won't sit here and watch you slander her.
I know that she probably is nice while she's at work, but do you think it's possible that she's just doing that because it's her job?
Don't go mixing up this girl with all the other hussies that work at that place. She moved here from the country and isn't tainted like the other women here. I'm just teaching her a few things about life in the big city is all.
I see. Well, I know we keep on calling it a shop, but just to be clear, we are talking about a bar, aren't we?
If you know what we're talking about, there's no need to spell it out. Besides, you're married, but I'm sure that you must like to go out and have a little fun too. Don't worry, you can tell me. We're both married men here.
I understand what you're saying, but my wife is more than enough for me, thank you very much.
Oh, well, aren't you a little Boy Scout? But we'll see how long you can put up with that little act of yours. Maybe I should invite this girl over to the office one day and tell her to show you a good time. That might finally get the stick out of your butt.
You really don't need to do anything like that, Derek.
Man, you really are no fun, do you know that? Has anyone ever told you that you're actually a bummer to be around? I bet when you were a kid in school, you were always a quiet kid in the corner with no one to play with, weren't you?
Derek, I'm really sorry, but can I please just eat my lunch and enjoy the rest of my break before it's over?
Alright, fine, but I'll leave all the work I want you to do on your desk and I'll come around tomorrow to pick it all up.
So, you want me to get whatever it is that you have for me done by today?
Well, duh! I need all this work ready to be sent out by tomorrow, so just get it done. I'm sure a nerd like you will have no problem in doing it.
But I already told you that I have other work I need to do.
Listen, Mark. You've been going home at the same time every day since you started working here, right? All that tells me is that you really aren't giving your all to the company. A real dedicated employee would be doing much more overtime.
I'm sorry, Derek, but do you even know what it is that I'm working on right now?
And there you go, back talking me again. Listen, I'm your superior, and I'm giving you an order. If you want to get ahead in this company, you need to learn to take order and keep your trap shut. If I wanted your opinion, I'd ask for it. You've seriously got some nerve, you know that, Mark.
What is it this time, Derek?
I mean that I was just called into our department head's office, and thanks to you, I wasn't able to go home in time.
What happened when you went to talk to your boss?
He wanted to talk to me about the work that I gave you to do. He was mad because you didn't make it the way that I normally do.
Well, I'm sorry that we have different styles, but I only did what you asked of me.
Well, that's because it should have been obvious that I wanted you to make it the way that I would have. Now my boss is suspicious of me.
I guess I don't know what else to say, but I'm sorry.
Which reminds me, I see that you're scheduled to take tomorrow off, is that right?
That's right, I put in the time off request a while ago too.
And just what is so important that you have to miss work, huh?
Well, my wife and I were going to go to the courthouse to have our civil service performed and become legally married.
Then that's the big reason you can't come in tomorrow. Are you kidding me?
I already cleared it with your boss and he said it was fine if I did.
You do know that unlike you, I actually care about this job and work hard at it, right? But you just think you can take time off for whatever you want, no matter how small, huh? Cancel your time off and come into work tomorrow, got it?
But I've already made sure to complete everything that I would have had to get done tomorrow today. Besides, I've already had this time off cleared with the department head.
Don't you remember telling me that you wanted to work even harder for the company?
Of course I remember saying that, and I meant it.
Well then stop talking the talk and start walking the walk. You already screwed up big time with the work that I gave you before. I bet your wife isn't even all that great. She's probably ugly, huh? Why'd you send me a picture of her? Surely you must have a bunch on your phone, unless she's so ugly that you haven't even got one.
Derek, I am not going to send you a picture of my wife. Furthermore, I don't care what you have to say about me, but please do not bring my wife into this.
There you go, thinking that you can talk to me like that. You're my underling, and that basically means your wife is too. So I can talk about your wife in whatever way I please. And just what is she gonna do about it anyways? It's not like she's gonna be mad at me for things I say to you.
I didn't ever say that she would be upset with you. I just don't understand why you feel the need to talk so rudely about people's spouses.
Well, you're at least gonna invite me to the wedding, right? I really want to see the kind of woman you're making such a big fuss over.
Well, we were only inviting family to the wedding, so...
You mean you're not gonna invite me? I'm your boss. I'll prepare a speech for you and everything. And there'll be a chance for everyone to learn a little bit more about the work that you do.
Derek, I'm getting a call from a client. I'm gonna go now.
Oh, you little baby. I know that you're just trying to run away right now.
It isn't that at all, I promise you that.
And just who is this client that wants to talk to you, huh?
It's the V Corporation. Feel free to look into the file we have on them if you want.
You think I have time to do something stupid like that? Whatever, just know that after you come back from your one-day honeymoon, I'm gonna make sure that you know the real meaning of work.
Derek, would you mind telling me where you are right now?
I'm in the office cafeteria, what do you want?
Well, I noticed that my lunchbox was missing from the fridge. I asked around the office and people say they saw you carrying it with you, so I just wanted to ask if you took my lunch.
Your lunchbox wouldn't happen to be red and black with a handle on top, would it?
So you do have my lunchbox. I was afraid of this. Can you please return it to me?
Huh? Did your wife pack your lunch or something? Is that why you want it back?
Well, yes actually, but also it's my lunch.
Ah, well I'm afraid that you're too late. I've already eaten it all.
So you really just took someone else's lunch out of the fridge and ate it knowing that it wasn't yours? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't actually eat the food. I threw it all in the trash instead. It looks so nasty that you should be thanking me for saving you from it. I guess the married life must be going really well, huh?
You didn't even eat the food? You just threw away someone else's lunch?
I already told you that you ought to be grateful to me for what I did. Eating a lunch like that might have landed you in the hospital. You really need to tell your wife to take a cooking class or two.
Derek, do you even realize what you've done? You're through now.
What are you talking about, huh? How am I, though? Because I make fun of your wife now and then? It's not my fault if you and your wife are equally useless at your jobs. All I'm saying is that your wife needs to learn how to cook.
I would just like to know how any of that is your business. I never had any problem with any of my lunches before. So what about any of this is your problem?
Here you go again, trying to start fighting with me. Is this really how you think you can get ahead in this company?
Derek, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't like you, and I really don't think that I can cover for you anymore.
You cover for me? Is that supposed to be some kind of joke?
I don't care whose lunch it is. You can't just take it out of the fridge and throw it away. You need to take responsibility for your actions, which have been way out of line with how any rational person would act.
How dare you tell me what I should be doing with my life?
Would you mind coming to the meeting room on the second floor once you've finished with whoever's lunch you're eating, Derek?
Why should I do that? I don't remember having any meetings scheduled.
You're right, this is an emergency meeting, so please go to the room as soon as you finish your lunch. We need to have a little talk about how you've been treating the staff here at the office.
Mark, I really would like to take this chance to express how very, very sorry I am for all that I've said and done.
Wow, this is quite a strange message to be getting from you.
Well, it's just, I had no idea that you were the grandson of the CEO of our company. But that means that you're also next in line to take over the company. I also hear that you were working for V Corp before you came here?
That's right, I've worked at a lot of places to gain as much experience as I could.
And is it really true that your wife is the daughter of the current CEO over there? Because I had no idea about that either. So again, I really am so sorry for all that I said to you.
I'm curious though, is the only reason you're apologizing to me because you found out who my grandfather is?
Well, I'm just trying to take accountability for my actions like you told me to.
Oh, really? Because just a few hours ago, it seems like you had no intention of giving me any sort of apology.
Yes, of course, but I've just been thinking a lot since our time in the meeting room. And I realized how much hurt I've caused, and I just want to say that it won't happen again. So please, can you find it in your heart to not fire me?
You remember what else we talked about in the meeting room, right? Like about how you chased off several promising employees with your behavior? 8 people in the last 3 years have all quit because of you. This is really unheard of.
But surely I'm not the only reason why they wanted to quit working here, right?
When we gave them a survey before they left, they all blamed the abusive management. They had nothing else bad to say about working here except for you constantly trying to slow off your own work onto them and hurling abuse. They all finally got fed up with your attitude and walked away. Even I've gone through something similar now.
But I already said that I'm really sorry.
I don't remember ever asking you for an apology, Derek. I only asked you to acknowledge the damage that you caused to these people's careers. They were all brilliant employees with impeccable resumes, who realized that working here wasn't worth having to deal with you. Which means that you've single-handedly caused a great deal of trouble for this company. Why would you think that it's okay to treat employees that way?
They all seemed like they knew what they were doing more than I did.
And so that's why you tried to chase them off? You really are pathetic.
Please, I'm sorry. I don't know what else I can say, but I'm so sorry.
It isn't all of your subordinates who talk poorly about you, though. A lot of the new hires said that they were grateful to have you shown them the ropes, and even some of your own supervisors have given you high marks.
See? I knew that wasn't all bad. I really am a good worker.
But the fact is that you still drove away promising talent, and you need to face punishment for that. Lucky for you, however, the business doesn't take firing people too lightly. If you can promise to stop harassing other employees and do your own work, then you might not be fired.
You mean it? You mean that I still have my job?
But you should know that I also have my wife here, and she says that I shouldn't let you off the hook so easily.
Well, I don't really see why your wife should have any say on how we should conduct our business.
Really? Even though she's so tightly connected with our clientele in the V group?
No, yes. Can you please just tell her that I'm sorry?
And are you sorry for chasing off the other employees? Are you going to apologize to all 8 of them as well?
Well, I don't even know where I would find them.
But you need to clear your name, don't you? At the very least, you need to apologize to my wife.
Well then, I do sincerely apologize to her. Just please don't fire me. I promise to give my all to the company from now on. And I'll never say another mean word to anyone as long as I'm here.
I see. Unfortunately for you, I'm afraid that the decision is out of my hand already. And your apology won't affect the company's decision to fire you.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
I mean that by insulting my wife, you've upset the CEO of one of our most important business partners. You might not know this, but the CEO of V is a very strict man who loves his daughter very much.
But I said I was sorry. This isn't fair. Please, you have to say something to help me, Mark. I promise to never do anything like that ever again.
In that case, I hope that you hold on that attitude at your next job. Because management here has decided that you're too big of a liability. Not to mention that you have insulted my wife. Have a nice life, Derek. A few weeks after that, the paperwork was processed and Derek was officially let go of our company. And since the process was done according to the books, he had no room for resource. Afterwards, I was tasked with tracking down and reaching out to the staff that Derek had chased off. I expressed apology on behalf of the company, and I informed them that Derek had been let go. We offered them a generous employment package if they agreed to come back and work for us. Some did, while others said they would never set another foot in our offices. I heard that a few weeks after Derek was fired, his wife divorced him. Apparently it wasn't the losing job that did it, instead she found out about the woman that Derek was seeing on the side, and that was the last straw for her. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.